should be relieved. And post-delivery therapy. This is the main area where AMA is generated and leading to severe diseases. And low immunity person and children, especially children with allergic respiratory diseases and skin diseases. And during therapy, Sneha Sweda, we give Pati Kashayam to prevent this type of generation of AMA. And in bleeding disorders, in myalgia, and in soft tissue rheumatism. The patients with a tennis elbow and plantar fasciitis, and all these conditions, there is typical AMA, which is the patient itself, then that there will be morning stiffness. That is a typical symptom of AMA avastha. Then in infertility, this is another field where we fail due to a non-consideration of AMA avastha. And before any Brahmana therapy, you have to consider AMA. Next one. And some of my observations, to be on the safer side, assume and treat for AMA. In the initial stages, in any patient coming to you, consider that there is AMA, and if you treat that, it will end up in success. And mostly patient will relieve AMA, Nirama, Upashaya, Anupashaya themselves. You just observe that. They will clearly tell the AMA symptoms and Nirama symptoms. And presence of absence of morning and night pain, morning stiffness or morning pain, night pain, this is applicable only in painful conditions. Rest pain can be utilized as a sure and simple sign to as a AMA, Nirama avastha. And another observation is heavy supper, especially rice and fish, and also milk along with oats, etc. will trigger morning stiffness and many allergic conditions. If you skip this one, you can save many medicines and there will be faster relief also. So avoid very heavy food in the night. Next. And think before prescribing whether in your prescription, please think whether I am going to do a Brahmanam or Lagana. It's a basic thing. I have seen many prescriptions with diagnosis as Amavada and prescribing some Vyasana, Saptaram, Shaddana, etc. And in the end there will be Pintavailam and Potenzita. So there is no meaning in diagnosing as Amavastha and prescribing oil. So in such unscientific practices should not be done. So you have to be very specific whether we are going to do a Brahmana Chikitsa or Lagana Chikitsa. And avoid external thylums, especially in AMA conditions, especially if you are diagnosing, if you are very particular that you have to give thylum, don't diagnose it as Amavada, you diagnose it as Vada Yoga. And use of oils externally inversely affect the healing. It's very relevant one. It is only due to our misconception that every patient should be given thylum. That's a very pitiable condition that we are doing all type of abhyangam in AMA conditions and worsening the condition. So in severe degenerative disease like osteoarthritis and in IVDP and cervical spondylosis, in 98% of patients, you will not be able to give thylum in the initial stage externally. If you assess with these symptoms, it will be very clear. If you ask them whether there is morning stiffness or increase in the morning pain, you will not be able to give thylum there. And if you don't give thylum, there will be faster relief than you expect now. Then Erenda thylum, as I told earlier, this is a very good painkiller and we often neglect it even as a Prakshaya Dravyam, it is giving excellent results. In very small doses itself, it can be given, especially in AMA condition. Only thylum which can be given in AMA condition is Erenda thylum, and it's very useful to relieve pain and inflammation. Next. Give importance to Pathyam. That is very important. If you give more importance to Pathyam, you can save money, save medicines and save time. That's very important. And no extra Pajana drugs need to be given if you follow Pathyam. And use minimum medicines for better results. That is also very important. Don't bombard the patient with a lot of medicines. It itself can cause AMA. So the drug should also be digested. So practice. So use only minimum drugs that will fetch more results. And Shanthanam is not a universal Amavajana drug, as Dr. Madhu told. It is a misconception, and drugs, you select drugs according to the avastha of the patient, avastha of the disease. Next one. Then many options are there, like Amavotana, Kajanamradam, Bharangyadi is a very excellent result-giving drug in rheumatic complaints. Then Shadangam, Hinduvajadi, Vindhyadi Gulaga gets significance in the context of Vishaja Ama. Then Vyoshadi Gugulu, Sudarsanam, Vyasana Panchakam, Mustadi Ganam, Kadavalagadavanyadi, and Guluji and Shumbi combination. And Vamana, as you know, in the poster of the Avastha, Vamana, it is not the classical Vamana, it is the Sadhya Vamana, which is given importance than other Panchakarma treatment. And procedures like Ruksha Svedam without Abhingam, like Valuga with Lavana, with Kadisha. Kadisha is powder, or we can use Vibhuti. In the place of this Kadisha, it is very effective in fibromyalgia and myalgic conditions, very cost effective. We can use it in very negligible amount. We can conduct this Pindasvedam. Then Busa, etc. can be used for Sweda procedures. Next one. So, to conclude, AMA is a modifiable risk factor, major risk factor, and unique concept need more study and consideration by the Ayurvedic fraternity. So, thank you for your patience. And I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity. I have not covered all the aspects due to some time restraint. I have given only some salient points. Thank you.